Welcome back to Let's Play Higurashi Meakashi. Kai! Kai! Yeah. Damn Higurashi. Got a bloody headache as it is. Well, when have I not got a headache, to be honest? So, we've only just begun this arc, and it's kind of a slow start so far, isn't it? Just like it gets good, but it starts pretty slow. So, word of the day. Renga bricks. Why not? Also, what word was I gonna go over here? I've already forgot. It's like I've been doing Welsh, as I've said, at the college. Finally got back to that. And I gotta say, I'm not entirely sure, really. I think Welsh might actually be harder than Japanese for me at this point. Well, to be fair, I've been kind of on and off, like, studying Japanese a bit for quite some time now, and I've gotten used to the syllables in the language. Like, I can pronounce it kind of alright, I guess. I mean, if I was, like, given a script and it's just like, okay, read this out. As we've seen in my Go Nippon LP, I have trouble reading Japanese, like, a full-on sentence if it drags on a bit. But I can, you know, kind of understand how the pronunciation works with freaking Welsh, though. There are a lot of these kind of odd kind of sound, this accent to it that's really hard to get across when I write down pronunciation. Because I'd be like, it's pronounced like this. For example, grapes, ground. I'd like put the pronunciation down as like gown, but with an R. So ground. Otherwise, the way I written it, I would have like, if I didn't put that extra note, I'd be like, grown? No, ground. Ground. Gotta do it with a Welsh accent as well. Ground. And then there's grapefruit, which is ground fruit. It's like accents like that, like koch. That bit right at the end I did there, koch. That is an actual sound in the Welsh language. It's represented as a C and a H. It's really hard to get used to. And there's like another one that's like 2 D's or 2 L's, and they sound nothing like how you'd expect them to, and I'm still not sure how they sound. What other ones can I give an example of? Well, another one for that CH one would be raspberries. Mavon kochion. Kochion. It has that odd sound to it. It's really hard to get used to. What other one? Mushrooms also use it. Madach. Madach. I have to have that kind of sound at the end. Really hard to get used to. It's like, once I've like started getting phrases down, I'm like, how the hell do I pronounce that? It's odd, like it'd be like, please speak more slowly, and I don't know how well I've actually wrote down a pronunciation, because ironically they were speaking it too fast for me to pick up on what they were saying. Sharadochin arafach asquel inda. See? Butchered that pronunciation, because I couldn't freaking get it right. It's really hard to write down, like, how it should sound when it's got, like, stuff like and shit like that, a pronunciation. Just like, what does that sound like? I don't know. It has a kind of accent to it. It's like, R's, for example, like, brown is just brown in Welsh, but it has a kind of R drawn out where it's like, brown. Brown. It's just like, there's a lot of kind of and koch and stuff like that. Pretty confusing stuff. Anyways, get to the plot. Just thought I'd ramble a bit about that. Maybe that's because I Oh well, whatever you say. What could be your plan? Guess I dialed a number. It's funny to me that we're calling the main house, even though that's the place I most want to avoid at the moment. Okay, that's probably Kasai. Hello, good morning. Is this Mion-san? It's been a while. This is Kasai. Yes. Good morning. Could you hold for a moment? I'm letting someone else on the phone. I want to see how that's written in Japanese. Just for the hell of it. Moshi moshi. Ohayo gozaimasu. Mion-san, as we established, she's got the demon in her name, so I can tell that's obviously her name. And the fact it's got san right there. Deska. So, that's one really common thing I've noticed, which is kind of helpful, because it's kind of consistent. Deska. It's like, always used in that kind of way. It's like, Mion-san, that's her name. Deska is like, is this, essentially. That's what it means in this context. So is this Mion? It's like it's backwards, because you think, like in English, it'd be like, this should be here and that should be there, but it's the other way around. It's confusing. But it kind of makes sense after a while. Go something or other, shiteimasu. Something or other. Wait, this character looks vaguely familiar to me. Actually, I think that right there is the character for 4. But it's got this little extra bit added on that must make a difference. My kanji book goes over stuff like that, like altered characters. I mean, look at Mion's name, that's kind of altered as well, because it's got demon in there, isn't it? And a different character as well is mixed into it. It's kind of confusing how they do that. This, wait. Oh, that's probably his name then. Kasai desu. Ohayo gozaimasu again. I know this character, actually. It's even in my freaking kanji. This could be a good chance to finally put it to use and try to see how it works. God damn it. Microphone down. What page is it on? What was the character again? Okay, that. I know it's in here somewhere. Just can't remember where. Maybe it's one of the first ones? Come on, but don't want to waste the battery power on just looking through this, yeah. Okay, I think I found it. Is it? Could be the one. Maybe. Is it? No, actually it looks kind of different. Never mind. Shit, but I've definitely seen that. It's probably in there, but whatever. Can't find it in time. Because, you know, battery will run really low. Shio blah chi blah gemaska. Notice ka gets used a lot when it comes to questions. That's because it's used to make a question. Blah, 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 blah. That's definitely gotta be using the Chinese reading thing that I've heard so much about. No way you can have 3 kanji characters in a row without having to do a reading like that. I don't understand it. Oh, something warimasu. Kanji is confusing. One of those, it must have been Denwa then. But then again, it could have even been a different reading of it, so I don't know. It's confusing. I take the handset. Hello. Can you tell who this is? That voice. But that can't be true. Shion's still supposed to be confined to St. Lucia's. You can't be her. Yeah, they forbid outside calls at the academy, but you're talking to me right now. Even my dim-witted old sister should understand what that means. Did you sneak out of the school? How? That's not important. I really missed you, sis. Shion! That was as far as I could take it, and Mion had hit her limit too. We both burst into laughter, unable to keep up our act. It's been a while since we laughed out loud with each other like this. It's been forever, Shion. Seriously, what's happened with you? There's not much else to it. I haven't lied or anything. Wait, then you really ran away? Oh, good job. The security wasn't tight enough to keep me locked up in there. Maybe the school should be grateful you escaped quietly. If you were serious, it'd be easy for you to blow up the whole building to make your escape. Well, I couldn't have done that, but I might have set it on fire. It's kinda awkward to voice act both Mion and Shion, because I pretty much give them more or less the same voice. It's just a very subtle difference between it. Kasai smiled at us in amazement, his face a blend of amusement and expiration. Is it okay to talk to you now? It's alright, Granny's out for a lesson. She's coming home late in the evening. Let's go, we should get together and talk soon. So we can, have you appear on screen. Because for some reason it makes it easier to voice act when I can see the character I'm voice acting. Just over the phone for today, though. Okay. Did anybody report my escape to our grandmother? Nope, we've heard nothing. I passed along the calls and guests for the main house now, so no news reaches Granny without going for me. I'm sure she doesn't know. Wow, that's awesome. You really sound like the next leader of the Sonozaki family. You know, I don't like that. You should have taken my place. You're the one with the demon, aren't you? Well, keep giving it your all. I'll be rooting for you from the shadows. Anyway, that's not important now. You sound so indifferent. Well, that's okay, I guess. I just can't voice act them the way I usually do unless I see them on the screen, goddammit. If you hear anything about me, give Kasai a call, okay? I'd like to give you my number here, but I'll keep it a secret for the time being. Heck, it's even the same with Shion. I can't do that subtle difference unless I see her appear on the damn screen for some reason. Sorry. Alright, if Granny hears you fled to school, there'll be all kinds of trouble. I'll be on the lookout for now. And I'll let Kasai know if something happens. Thanks, I'll also have a favor to ask. I figured you would. Oh, money's out of the question, okay? I never thought I could pester you for money. I just want to ask you for a little help with my part-time job. I see, so that's it then. What exactly do you need? We can communicate first in a situation like this. We don't have to get into details because we know what's on each other's minds. Uncle Oshiro's on my side, isn't he? I'm going to try and see if I can get a part-time job at one of the businesses he owns. Then I'll call you when I know my shift. So... Is it Mion or Shion now? God damn it! So I just have to disappear while you're working, right? That's a little taxing. What are you saying, sis? Are you turning down your only sister's request? Seriously? Alright, I'll do it. I wouldn't want to see how you'd retaliate if I turned you down. Hahaha, thanks. I'll buy you a cake from Schlagkeberfers. I'll throw in tons of pretty tarts too. That's definitely gotta be in katakana. I wonder how they handled that one. Although, as I've established, I'm crap at reading katakana, so I probably wouldn't be able to frickin' see what it says properly anyway. There it is, right there. And look at that! Shoo, I think. I get confused. It's easy for me to see it like if it was in hiragana, like know, this, where it's like ee-or. But this, when it's in katakana, I just get confused instantly. I think that's she, that is you, which makes that into shu, maybe. I think that's ra. And this one right here confuses me. I can't tell if it's n or so. It's really confusing to me. But I always get mixed up with these ones as well. That is bear, I think. Berry. No. Kick. Yeah, that's must be kick. See how simple it is for me to read hiragana compared to katakana? Just like instantly change right there. I also noticed that it said kawaii there. Did she say something about it being cute? Yeah, I suppose that was how it was translated for this. So it's probably cute tarts, but they translated it pretty. Either way it goes, whatever. Shion. Sri Lanka Bertha closed last fall. Oh no! Well, since it's that simple, let's have a look if we can see how it looks in Japanese again, but without the added stuff. Wait, if it's... no, I have no idea. Shion... I've already forgot the name, so it makes it hard to see quite what it says. I just don't understand. I really should memorize katakana, seriously. So many times to see that. Because seriously, look at that! Schlanke Bertha. That is definitely not something that would fit into the Japanese language very easily. For one thing, they don't have an L in their language at all. Which is why when you, like... I suppose that's why when Japanese people learn English, they have trouble pronouncing it, so it comes out as an R instead, I imagine. Huh? Is that so? Yeah, the owner's had a stroke. He reopened the store once, but he got sick again. So he had to shut it down. I see. That's a shame. I won't be able to eat their Mont Blanc cakes to my heart's content anymore. I was disappointed that my favorite cake shop had closed down, but more so that this town had changed without my knowing while I was gone. It was kind of regrettable. Are there any other changes I don't know about? Yeah, there are some. I'll tell you when we meet up next time. Thanks, I'll tell you about my school life. Let's set a date. I'll call you. Alright, I'll see you then. Mion, what is it? How are you? I'm fine. I'm glad to hear that. I'm hanging up now. Okay, see you. God damn it, I wanted to freaking see a full translation of that conversation. I know it's probably a bit annoying how I keep doing this, but damn it. I want this to make sense to me. Log. Nani? Nibble. Actually, I've learnt this one. Yeah, that's the character right there. I recognize it now. Genki de yateru. I was like literally looking at this in the kanji thing not long before reading it, starting this recording. I mean, Genki is essentially like health, energetic spirit or something like that. So I suppose that's a way of asking, are you okay? There's one phrase in here, I really want to memorize it. I think it was something like, Getsuyobi, yeah, I just can't remember what the other one was, but essentially it was a really awesome phrase to know, because it essentially translated to, I'm never energetic on Mondays. Because that is perfect phrase for me right there. Just like, yep, Mondays, never energetic on Mondays. Mushiron. I suppose that's her way of saying, yes, I am. Nara yoku good. Thank goodness, something royal. Yes. Johnny. Which, is another way of, saying bye. I clicked on the wrong thing. What the hell did I click on? I have no idea because it's in Japanese. Just like, but you were just reading in Japanese. Yeah, I know, but it's freaking katakana, goddammit. What is that anyway? Oh, it's hide text box. Can't have you hiding text box on me. It's really been a while since I last talked to her. I put down the phone and heaved a sigh as Kasai brought in some tea. So, how did it go? You remember Uncle Yoshiro, who was in favor of me staying? I'll talk to him about my escape, and ask him if he can hire me to work at one of his stores. Are you sure? Some other relatives might find out. That's why I asked Sis a favor. I'll contact her when my shift is set, and she'll disappear while I'm working. Do you get the picture? Guess I look puzzled. It's not really that difficult to grasp. It's simple. If somebody finds me at work, I'll tell them they're a Mion. Do you get it now? Normal people wouldn't buy this kind of plan. But Kasai knows too well how easy it is for my sis and me to trade places. That's audacious, or shrewd, I should say. I'm impressed. Is that a compliment, Kasai? Kasai looked amazed. If things go south, it'll affect him too. Considering the rules of my dad's profession, he won't be able to get away with just a mere apology. That's why he doesn't want me to do anything too risky. I think I have to make it up to him since he helped me escape, even knowing that risk. What? What? Who's speaking now? I'm gonna assume that this is her uncle, maybe. Alright, no problem. If I find somebody talking bad about you, I'll beat them up. Thank you so much. I knew I could rely on you, Uncle Yoshiro. Yep. Uncle Yoshiro pounded his chest with his fist after offering me his assurance. He seemed glad that I turned to him first. I'll be happy to help since I'm so impressed that you're trying to support yourself. You were here for money, I'd turn you into your grandmother right away. What? You're scaring me, Uncle. I knew he was reliable. He understood my situation straight away and promised to help. Now who's speaking? Oh. Manager, here's the bloody thing. Well, might as well read it properly. Manager, here's the shift chart. I'll put it here. One of the store clerks brought out a work schedule. There are many things I'm unfamiliar with written on it. Probably because it's written bloody katakana, I'd imagine. I mean, there's like thousands of kanji characters, for example, but I wonder how many words there are, foreign words, that have to be written out in katakana. That seemed like it'd be even more confusing than bloody kanji characters when you really think about it. Because there's so many different words that aren't technically in the Japanese language, where they kind of mix it in with their language. Like, you know, like it said with cake, for example, it was keiki. That was really simple, that one. But then it's gotta be more obscure ones where it's like the pronunciation becomes a bit more confusing. I don't know. Or maybe it's simply just because the way it's written kind of throws me off every goddamn time. Because it's supposed to sound like a word that I'd be familiar with, because it's not technically Japanese. And half the time it's usually an English word, but I don't think it's always necessarily an English word that is used. Sometimes it could be a different language entirely that isn't Japanese nor English, and throws me off even further. It's like, I don't know. Some words just don't translate the way you'd think they would. I don't know. So, how much can you work? That depends on our respective schedules. Hope I can get in when I want to. Hey, that sounds a little irresponsible, but I know you're in a different situation. I'm dependent on Mion for my work. Our schedules have to match. Of course, Uncle Yoshiro understood that. But I also knew he couldn't afford a selfish part-timer who only works when she wants to. In the end, he decided to hire me as an office helper, not an official worker. As a temp, I wouldn't have a work schedule. My uncle also decided to pay me out of his own pockets. It's fine, as long as I can make enough to support myself. Sure, I expect to get what I'm paying for, okay? And don't call me uncle in the office either. Alright, manager, thanks for hiring me. Good, you got it. Once all the business talk was over, my uncle hounded me with all kinds of questions. He asked me things like, what was it like in a prestigious girls' boarding school? And so on. Apparently there were all kinds of rumors going around about the St. Lucia Academy I was confined to, and everyone was curious about it. I added a few embellishments of my own as I explained how unordinary life at that school was. My uncle looked extremely delighted to hear all the little details about life in a secret garden for girls. Horny bastards. Okay, I gotta see how that translates. Probably using a kanji counter for all I know, but I am curious. What wording was that? It's just like wall of text. Nothing. That's the thing that confused. One of the many things that confused me in Japanese. I mean, look at that, man. There's barely any space between any of it, so it's just like, where the fuck is what and this and that? So damn confusing. It looks like the equivalent of like... I mean, look at that. It's just like... no spaces in between. Then it's like, oh, comma, then a space, and then blah, blah, blah. It just drags on and on. It's like, if you just like bung a bunch of words together without putting a space between it. It looks really confusing. How do Japanese people do it? Once my uncle was satisfied, it was my turn to ask all kinds of questions, such as, how much has the battery got left? It has 42%, 25 minutes. I'm surprised it even has that much left, to be honest. I want to know if anything peculiar had happened while I was gone. I won't be able to act like Mion unless I can fill in the gap of information left in the past 2 years. Haven't been in many big changes. It's been quiet since the end of the dam conflict. I went to the academy only a bit after they froze the project. There was still a bit of tension then. Even after they shut down construction, things were still tense because the project wasn't entirely cancelled. But the Onagafuchi Guardians disbanded about a year later. Well, we've established the Onagafuchi defense lines, but Guardians probably also make sense as well. There was a big ceremony held at the shrine. That's when the dam conflict officially ended. That's right after I was imprisoned. Is everybody slacking now that the conflict is over? I guess you all had fun playing that war back then during the dam protest, didn't you? Try to imagine how much suffering the adults went through every time they had to come pick up their kids from the police station. Well, I can't deny that. It was like a festival for us. Uncle Yoshiro seemed exhilarated at how different kids and adults treated the conflicts. Who's saying that? What? That fucking jerk of a construction manager. Okay, this is probably our uncle line. Oh yeah, there was that dismembered murder, wasn't there? The one where that fucking jerk of a construction manager got split into pieces. Still haven't... oh wait. No. Oh, this is definitely got Shion. Oh yeah, there was that dismemberment murder, wasn't there? The one where that fucking jerk of a construction manager got split into pieces. Still haven't caught the culprit behind that, have they? What's your fucking language, Shion? I wonder how she words it, but I'm not even going to bother looking at it in Japanese, because as we've established, it's a bloody wall of text. I mean, this is as well. I mean, look at that. It is essentially like a little wall of text. It's a paragraph, more or less. But it's got spaces between each word. You don't have that with Japanese. Did they finally catch you? Come to think of it, I don't think they've caught him yet, no. It happened on the night over Tanagashi, didn't it? I remembered everyone making a fuss about it being Oyashiro-sama's curse. That was pretty scary for us kids. Yeah, Oyashiro-sama's curse. That happened the year after, too. That's right, that was scary too, wasn't it? Who was it again? That guy who supported the dam died in an accident, right? Hojo, wasn't it? And it happened on the day of Tanagashi once again. Everyone went crazy saying it had to be a curse. That was horrifying. Definitely. The construction manager that everyone hated was killed and dismembered on the night of the Tanagashi festival. That incident on his own was more than intense enough for his kids. The worst part of his body was never found, which made it almost a ghost story amongst us. We seriously believed that the severed right arm was roaming in search of the body it belonged to. It didn't take long for the rumor of Oyashiro-sama's curse to become a topic of discussion among occult researchers and the like. Considering the circuit's essential factors, even so the rumor faded away after about a year. After the dam project was officially frozen, we held Tanagashi purely as a festival. But the curse struck again. The victim was a pro-dam activist who lived in Hinamizawa by the name of Hojo. He and his wife were on a trip when they fell from a cliff to their deaths. It was considered an accident. Technically, the police were still searching for the wife's body. If I remember right, they never did find it, did they? Once again, the man most worthy of Oyashiro-sama's curse fell victim on the night of the Tanagashi festival. So the first of Oyashiro-sama's curse rose up again. Until then, Oyashiro-sama wasn't considered very important. Well, what about the Furudes? I mean, this is a year before Keiichi, so this is the year that Satoshi and the aunt were the victims. So, the previous year, I think, was the Furude one, so maybe she'll go over that as well. At least in the world of us kids, it was just the name of the object of worship at the shrine, nothing more than that. I'd seen boys peeing on the archway, and I once stuck my hand into the offertory box. The existence of a god didn't matter much to us. I bet those kids must have shit themselves when they realized the curse. Just like, no, it's because I pissed on it, no! But after 2 consecutive occurrences, the kids no longer doubted the existence of a curse. It's all because that damn kid pissed on the archway! We were all shaking in fear of Oyashiro-sama. Instead of peeing on the archway, he peed himself once he realized this horrifying reality. Maybe. Everybody suddenly became interested in the old stories about him too. We quietly listened to the musty old stories the elders had to tell. And we started generally believing in the tales of Oyashiro-sama's miracles, which any of us would have laughed away before. Oyashiro-sama's rules were awfully simple and clear. Enemies treading into Hinamizawa will be cursed. Villagers leaving the village will be cursed. What defined the village was terribly vague. Were we never allowed to leave Hinamizawa village? Was going to Okinomiya still safe? Was a single step enough to be out? Was a 3-day, 2-night hot spring trip still safe? We kids tried to draw a line. It was decided in the end that if you had a house in Hinamizawa or Okinomiya, you were safe. And it was okay to go on trips if you had a house in either area. I know it's weird, but those rules were made up by kids after all. According to those rules, I'd be cursed since I lived at a boarding school in such a remote area. I couldn't say it out loud because I felt embarrassed. But in fact, I was a little scared of the curse. Yeah, it happened again the year after. Sure, it's scary when it happens 2 years in a row. I still believe in Oyashiro-sama's power. Shion-chan, what do you say? Don't you know? Don't you know? Don't you know, Shion? Dramatic, eerie music playing. Sound effects of sorts. A melody. A low battery. A cliffhanger in the works. Because, you know, that's just how it is. Freaking battery doesn't freaking last long enough to record more than one part usually. I mean, previous part was an exception because I charged it partway through the recording. But I won't do that here, just leave it on a good old-fashioned cliffhanger. Although it would be good to get 2 parts recorded, because, you know, it's a pain in the ass and have to record, like, frequently. if I'm just like engrossed in my games, like playing Mystery Dungeon or some shit, or if I'm recording for the other LPs on my main channel. It can be a bit, time consuming. And with like college starting up again and guitar lessons as well, just like gets a bit hectic. But whatever. I'll see you next time, viewers. See you next time.